Hello, my lovelies. I am here sharing about crystal healing. I'm super excited. I think it's Julia Van Doren's from Goldie Rocks, this amazing book about the modern guide to crystal healing. And I just wanted to share different types of crystals that are healing around our home that I think many of us intuitively have crystals. I would suggest for you to notice the children in your life, that they just collect the rocks and stones around our environment. And this is super exciting because I just was reading all these different spaces where specific crystals are really helpful for healing. So crystals in our home can be like a beautiful aesthetic array, right? Something beautiful to look at, but also they send so many healing vibrations into the environment. They can help kind of cleanse out negative toxic energy that's kind of built in. They can disperse old static energy. And so here we go. In the bedroom, to help for calm sleep and for peaceful dreams, is a gate. And a gate can come in many different colors, which actually I love this about a gate. And it's more of like a hard crystal, which I actually do have a gate over here to show you. I went to a gem show and I do have some different agate pieces, but agate can be natural. This is more of like a pinkish agate. And know that crystals as well as stones, some people call them gemstones, they're all the same, but they're perfectly imperfect. I bought this from the show cracked like this, and it's like perfectly, amazingly imperfect. Amethyst, which is one of the most common household crystals. My dogs are in the background wrestling, of course. This is the most beautiful one. And amethyst can come from different sources. Like this one, you can see it's like these ones that we would just step over in the earth that are broken into like these magical crystals. And this is also a healer for the third eye. When I use this in Reiki, and I use crystals for helping heal our energy centers and our emotional blockages, that one is really good for the intuition, the third eye, which helps us kind of tune in to our intuitive self. And then there's black tourmaline, which is more of like a black, kind of like softer porous stone. It's actually kind of looks like in the same family as selenite, but it's black as night. And that actually also is really good because black tourmaline helps ward off EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, including radiation. And hopefully you're not someone who sleeps with your phone by your bed. If you are, I would encourage you to sleep with that phone at least 4 feet away from you. I know on the opposite side of my bedroom wall, our Wi-Fi is set up, so I have a giant cluster of black tourmaline that's probably 3 pounds big. And it's also very deathly. It's actually scratched the crap out of me. And this also says Celestine. I don't know how to pronounce this one, but it's Chaldoni, Danburite, Halotite, Lepidite, Moonstone, more of a common stone, or crystal, rose quartz for adding heat. This one says for adding heat to the bedrooms. You can try tangerine quartz, which I've never tried tangerine quartz. I'm very interested. Carnelian, which is more of like an orangey stone. I actually have a carnelian, not on purpose, but on my kitchen table. This is carnelian. It's really warm, almost like caramel. Of course, my dogs are licking and drinking. This also says garnet and emerald or aragonite. This is a really cool tip, and it says, tips to place your crystals on your nightstand or under your mattress for healing and guidance while you sleep. And this one also says to add selenite into your closet to clear stagnant energies. I sleep with selenite. This is selenite. It's like one of my go-tos. I sleep with this by my bed. It's under my kids' pillows. I have selenite towers. I have selenite slabs. I have raw selenite. This is actually a very unique piece that I got at a gem show that I was going to sell, and I decided to keep it. It almost looks like it has like barnacles on it. Look how amazing. It's also known as Some people call it like moonstone, but it's not like moonstone, but it just looks all moony and wonderful. But this is a high vibrational crystal that will clear all energies from people, surrounding, environmental pollutants. It's an amazing protective crystal while you sleep. So it's really exciting. Okay, I was just gonna run over a few more. In the kitchen, this says for healthy choices. This says that in willpower, amethyst, which is again our lovely purple goddess over here. Appetite, bloodstone, carnelian again, a clear quartz. This is like a clear quartz cluster, something like this. Emerald, pyrite, selenite, and shungite. And it also says a tip, which I just did, I've never done this before, is to put your crystals in your fridge, in your cupboard, to infuse your food with extra healthy vibes. That's super important too. And I was also reading in this book that, which I've already intuitively known, but it's good to have the reassurance, to clear your crystals. You can, Junie, do you want to check these out with me? My daughter's over here, she's getting creepy. To clear your crystals, like you can blow. And you also can, some of them, a really good cleanse to cleanse your crystals is running underwater. However, there are some crystals that are super porous, like selenite. You do not want to put selenite underwater because number one, it's naturally already a cleansing crystal. And number two, it actually like creates these shards. And Junie sleeps with raw selenite under her.
I did.
Yes, and I actually was wearing selenite as a necklace, and I do intuitively think that we just kind of align with the vibration that we need. But I made myself a mala that actually has selenite on it, and I have double selenite. And my necklace fell off because I had too much selenite. It was like way too much. But selenite is a great crystal to wear and keep on your persons if you are someone who is like an empath like me or Miss Junie B, and you feel the need to take on other people's energies. So knowing that there's certain crystals that we can use like on our persons and in our home that can help us. And so those were in those spaces. And this is these are good tips for in our children's bedrooms that I was just reading about. This says for calm and for angelic protection, or just protection because kids can have a harder time and energies can latch on to kiddos a lot more than they can to us. So this says amethyst, number one, which I just put an amethyst in Junie B's room. Celestine, Sheldony. Some of these I don't know the names, but I'm open to. Danburite, yep. Lepidite, moonstone, selenite. This one says a tip to put amethyst or a lepidite under the crib or bed to encourage a calm sleep. And obviously, if it's small, don't give it to your baby so they don't choke on it. Yeah, I love this. This is also really cool. In our living rooms and dining rooms, it says for better communication and relaxation, because think of each crystal holds a vibration. And healing is omnipresent in these crystals. Like, luckily, I'm a lucky lady, or just I've tapped into I can actually feel the vibration of the crystals. Sometimes Junie can you?
Yeah, I can.
That one? Not everyone can. I know that that's okay. But this says in our living and dining rooms, amethyst. Amethyst is like a universal crystal. It's like the most well-renowned crystal. And aphthiolite, calcite, clear quartz, which is what Junie B is holding. This one is like a clear quartz cluster. Desert rose, which looks like a rose cluster. Junie can find you one of those. They're really beautiful. Iceland spar, selenite once again, smoky quartz, spirit quartz, or sulfur. This is desert rose. It's lovely. It's super textured, and that's a really good one just to hold in your hand and hold on your persons. This says to keep these type of crystals in busy living spaces, that they do double duty as they're beautiful and decor, and also they're powerful space cleaners. And another thing that I just wanted to touch on with healing with crystals in our living space and for us is that our crystals are like these super attractors and super absorbers. So it's equally as important to clear and clean the energy of crystals, especially if you buy a crystal from a store, like a busy retail store, like say you get it from Amazon. That crystal is going to absorb all of the energy. Like I do my best when I'm selling my malas, like I do an energy cleansing ceremony, and I do my best to put like a protective bubble around that crystal till it makes it to its new home. But sometimes inevitably they take up that energy. So one of the most powerful, easily, readily things to do to clear energy is to breathe into your heart and you set the intention. You breathe in, I set the intention to cleanse this crystal. And you don't have to touch it because, right, our minds are like these magical things, just like these magical crystals. You can set that intention. Also, another one is sage and Palo Santo, but something I just learned is that these are becoming rare, and this lovely lady was saying that we can use other sorts of like a smoked herb of your choice, like rose or tarragon or what else did she say? Lavender. Then you can use the smoke of that. And I didn't know that about Palo Santo and sage, so I might be thinking of resourcing. Also, singing bowls are a great way to clear the vibration. You just put your crystals in, your malas, and you bring, clear the energy. And I use personally selenite as a clearing crystal. Once again, my magical moon. I have a selenite slab that I set my crystals on every night, my lovely ladies. And of course, a really easy tip too is a sun bath or a moon bath. And just be careful because a lot of crystals and stones, some can get like rust if there's dew. And know that if you keep your crystals in a lovely sunny place like this over time, it will dull the crystal and the sheen. Like right here with amethyst, like if I keep this in direct sunlight, luckily the back of it is turned away. It's on this lovely little stand, but it will dull it over time. But know that a monthly moon bath, when there's a full moon or like a really fancy, amazing phase of the moons, I take all of my crystals and my malls and I put them in the windows that face where I know that the moon is going to face. In my house, it's on the east side of my house, and the moon's always really bright, and of course it's like it slowly kind of moves its way. But just, yeah, those are really great tips. And I just wanted to jump on here and just share my love for healing with crystals. And it was so interesting because crystals were something that I always loved, but never really dove deep into. And when I took my Reiki Masters training, it was my level 2 Reiki. So I'm like trying to think of back. It was level 2 or 3. How funny, I can't even remember. But one of those Reiki trainings, we touched base on crystals, and it was just like, it was my level 3 in master's class that I just felt like so connected and just so, I could just feel the vibration and know that my beautiful friends, that I actually learned this from another healer, that we are all these magical beings, and like these crystals are so freaking healing and have such high vibrations that can shift us. They can literally change our mood like that. But know that you and me and Junie B, that we are the most powerful crystal. Like we are these incredible beings, and that yes, these crystals can help us heal many aspects of our mind, our body, our spirit, and our emotions. But know that with this marvelous mind of yours, this intuitive heart, this intuition, that we have magical capabilities to heal ourselves. And with the help of healing with crystals, like we can shift so much in our life. We can manifest so much more in our life. We can let pain go. We can absorb into grief and pain like more steadily. And with the amount of Wi-Fi and EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, like freaking zooming around everywhere, it's like imperative, I feel like, for everyone to wear like mala bracelets or mala necklaces or a crystal in your pocket. And you can just do your own research, but like black tourmaline, any really dark black stone is going to help absorb that shock of that EMF. Also, one of my favorites universal magical crystals is labradite, which looks black to the unsuspecting eye, but when you get up close, it looks like the whole ocean and universe, and it's not letting me show you that. But that's okay, because I know it's magical powers. But even just getting like a palm stone that you can slip into your pocket, or if you work by screens, put that there to protect your energy. And know also that you can put the intention to shield your energy. If you find yourselves in these like crazy moments when you're at the grocery store or you're surrounded by a lot of people and you're like, those are the moments where you can just, what do? We put up our bubble. You just imagine this protective shield bubble all around you, and nothing can come in that bubble that you don't want to come in, and nothing can go out that you don't want to put out, my lovelies. So I'm just so grateful for you, and I want to share a little more. It's getting later and the sun's going down, about my love for healing with crystals. And know, like I wrote in my book, Awaken You, that it is a practice. It's not a perfect. And mostly follow your intuition when it comes to healing with crystals, and knowing that if a crystal feels good to you, it's like, oh my gosh, like I put this on my heart chakra and it just melts me. There are some crystals I pick up and I almost want to throw them across the room. That is your intuition. That is your body telling you that you either need that or you don't need that. So if you're feeling that, like, that's okay. Listen to that. And know even the magical stones or crystals on the earth around you where you live have such healing vibrations. And know you don't have to go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on crystals. That crystals can be very affordable. And again, you can also source from what is available outside, because the rocks and stones in our environment are filled with earth. They're filled with sun, they're filled with moon, they're filled with magical stardust, these magical healing properties. Oh, there it is.
Like you can go outside and get some rose quartz we found in the wall.
We live near the Rocky Mountains, and it is incredible. Quartz is everywhere. Granite is everywhere. And I didn't know much about granite, but granite has incredible healing properties. I was going to look up, but that's for another time. Every crystal and stone has incredible healing properties. And legally, we have to say metaphysical healing properties, but if you do your research, if you ask stories, that they can heal on a deeper level. I've had experiences where the first time I was really introduced to crystals, I had my Reiki master trainer put moldavite in my hand, and it made me start crying, and I didn't even know why. It was like this vibration of like unconditional love and forgiveness, and I could just like feel it, and it was tiny. It was this tiny, and I still have that. And it's funny because that crystal will get lost sometimes, and I'll find it in magical moments. And I feel like when we lose things, our mind says, oh no, I lost this. Like a mala, I'll lose like my favorite mala, but I know that it's deeper, that I don't need that energy in my life, and that I find the malas and the energies of crystals that I need. And just trust yourself. Like when you're searching, if you are searching online, you're looking for crystals, look for keywords, look for pictures that jump out to you. Like first thing, don't second guess yourself. Second guessing is the ego. Going with that first hit, that intuition is like what you actually really need. I love you. I'm grateful for you, and I'm sending out so many healing vibrations to you, and knowing that healing with crystals, with these magical things like palm-sized stones even, like they can help shift so much in our lives, my friends. I love you so much, and I will see you back here next time.